I'm gonna give it a couple of minutes and probably wait till the a minute, and then I'm literally gonna wait for a minute, and then I'm gonna start, the live stream. Mm. All right, I'm gonna just go live, and then I will edit when I get a chance. Okay, we're gonna go with. I'm gonna read off that. I'm gonna read off one of my blogs. Let me see. Give me a second. All right. The misdirection patterns, contradictions, and unrealistic claims and subliminal disrespect in Ash Habib's statements about Undisputed. Now this is from the interview they did at the content creator event. Now I was listening to his question, I mean his answers and stuff, and some of the stuff he was saying, and Ash was like really disrespectful. He was subliminally disrespectful. He was like saying little things like he was going at the people that's really speaking up, or he was going after the people that's dissatisfied with the game. And it's crazy that he's going at these people when this game is in the bad state, the state that it's in, and it's gonna the game is gonna it's gonna die out. I don't. It might take them I think 2 to 3 years to port this game to Unreal Engine and fix the game the way, I guess, the way they want it to be. But it's gonna lose its fan base. Nobody's gonna care about the game anymore. For one, they're gonna feel like, why should I support this game if they make a part two or whatever when they did such a bad job when it was in the first stage. So all right, let me read this blog that I made. All right, I read the first, the misdirection patterns. All right, we're gonna start with this section one. Presentation and disregard of boxing authenticity. Commentary is repetitive, round structures are incorrect, and walkout lack immersion. These are not minor oversights. They signal that accuracy and atmosphere were never built on authentic boxing foundations. When players point this out, Ash typically positions these issues as low priority or constraint strange. These frame this framing is subtle, dismissive. He implies that players who care about authenticity are nitpicking or expecting something unreasonable when in reality, these things are standard features of a boxing simulation or a boxing game. This is where the disrespect begins. Hardcore fans for real boxing structure. Ash acts as if they are asking for luxury items instead of foundational authenticity. All right. Desync, punch tracking, and avoidance of accountability. Desync and broken punch tracking ruin realism and competitive integrity. Instead of connecting these issues to deeper systems, design problems, Ash treat them like a technical avoidance. The subliminal message is clear. Do not worry about authenticity at do not worry about authenticity at that level. The casual audience will not notice. The attitude quietly tells hardcore fans that their experience is secondary to superficial engagement metrics. Reckless play, unrealistic stamina, and the realism is not fun narrative. Ash claims that too much realism becomes unfun. That like made me angry when he said that it's unfun. Watching a boxing match is fun. That sounds like what a casual fan would say. He used this to justify poor stamina systems, weak counter mechanisms, and lack of punishment for reckless play. The narrative directly undermines players who understand boxing. It frames them as out of touch with what real gamers want. It implies hardcore fans are asking for something niche or unreasonable. The disrespect is subtle but present. He positioned realism advocates as the minority who do not understand fun, despite realism being the original selling point of the game. Loose footwork, abuse, and the minimization of legitimate concerns. Players complain about unrealistic movement abuse. Ash repeatedly reframed this as a balance issue or a comp- comprise between realism and gameplay. This is this is defective because realistic movement constraints are not complex problems. They simply were not built. When Ash dismisses or softens these concerns, he indirectly tells hardcore boxing fans that their standards for authenticity is too high or not worth prioritizing. Give me a second. I want to see. Nobody's in the chat. Okay, I'm gonna keep it going. Judgment, judgment, confusion, and misdirection. Realistic simulation. They see judging as a gimmick that creates confusion. Ash uses the word simulation here only to he used simulation here only when it's convenient. When hardcore fans point out how broken judging is, he frames the problem as a player confusion or difficulty with realism. This is disrespectful. It suggests that the fans do not understand what they are seeing, instead of acknowledging that the system is poorly designed. He used realism as a shield only when it serves to redirect criticism, and he used fun as a shield to avoid deeper simulation features elsewhere. Career mode neglect and the dismissal of fan expertise. Career mode lacks immersion, structure, narrative depth. When players point out that the mode could be richer, Ash frames these desires as extras or content for later. This signals that the most informed players are asking for too much, when in fact they are asking for basic sports game standards. Hardcore fans understand that career mode is the long term backbone of a boxing game. Treating it as an extra is disrespectful to the players who would engage more deeply with the game. AI technicality, AI technical difficulties and passive dismissal of expert feedback. Hardcore fans respect AI sliders for years. No, excuse me. Hardcore fans requested AI sliders for years. I have. Ash said sliders were planned but canceled due to technical difficulties. That's crazy. This explanation does not respect the intelligence of the community. It assumes players will not question the excuse. Anyone with development knowledge knows sliders are not the difficulty. The lack of real AI architecture is. They fired the AI guy. By using vague excuses as subliminally implies players will not notice the inconsistencies. This is quite disrespect. No, it is quiet disrespect. Daggone. It questions It treats informed fans as if they are unaware of what is possible. Visual damage licenses and simplistic explanations. Ash blamed licensing and anti-violence concerns for toned down damage. This is only partial true. Many licensed games show damage responsibly. The deeper issue is that Undisputed lacks an advanced damage system. By reducing the problem to a surface level explanation, the signal that fans he signals that fans asking for more realism do not understand the business of licensing, even though they do. This is another form of subliminal disconcern. It weaponized partial truth to minimize legitimate critiques. Yeah, Ash is saying certain things like people haven't been gaming for all these years. Many people have been gaming for years and years, and they've been asking questions for years and years, and they were getting some of them questions answered. Me, I was getting all my questions answered. I don't care who say I don't know what I'm talking about. Will can say it all he want. Will wasn't in all them he wasn't in them conversations when I was talking to Brian Hayes, Mike Mahar. When I was talking to all these developers, when I'm talking to developers now, they're not in those conversations with me. I ask questions. A lot of people don't dig deep like I dig. I'm an older gamer. I'ma ask these questions. I'ma dig deep. It's like, and I feel like Ash. Let me see. Oh, PLO 617. I appreciate you came through. Yeah. Um, I know what I'm talking about. They can say it all they want, but all they doing is deflecting and trying to take my truth and make it into a lie. No, everything I'm saying is truthful. At all, a lot of this stuff is I'm getting it from the videos, the content creator videos. Ash was saying these things out loud, and I'm just going back with my answers to what Ash is saying. I'm trying to, like, What he's saying is not true. He's saying things because he think everybody is ignorant to the gaming industry. I'm not. Block and lean back abuse and the button space excuse. Ash says that Ash says they could not implement a parry system because they ran out of buttons. That's a lie. Stop with the lie, Ash. I really respected Ash, but the more I listen to the videos, I'm like, yo, this guy is a crook. He's really a crook. I like really had respect for Ash. We used to talk, and I'm like, yo, I like really respected him. But now he's became part of the industry, coached by Will Rackzilla, because it seemed like everything he's saying is being coached, like they rehearsed and everything. Will is like, I don't even want to say it. This is simply not credible. About what Ash says when he said that they could not implement a parrying system, which they really could. Modern games use layered input mapping, tap and hold directions, and contextual action. Because you could press a two button combination that makes certain things happen, or you could hold certain things. You ain't running out of buttons. You can even use the D-pad. They're lying. When he used such simplistic explanations, he's communicating something else beneath the surface. He expects hardcore fans not to question it. He assumes they will accept a poor excuse rather than see the lack of design effort. It is subtle, but it is disrespectful. He answered informed questions with beginner level explanations. Fighter animations, ratings, and selective use of "we are not AAA." That's a lie. People got to stop repeating what Steel City is telling them, what developers tell them. They want you to repeat what they're saying. Steel City is technically a AAA game or AA game. They have, I got to keep repeating this. They have 3 studios. If you want to be correct about it, politically correct about it. They have 2 studios in England, and they have a game facility in Las Vegas. They have a high price publisher, PlayOn. They have 3 investors, really 4. That is not an indie game. Do your free research on what an indie game is. I hate keep repeating this, but I have to. All right, fighter animations, ratings, and selective use of "we are not AAA." When fighters share animations and ratings feel random, Ash repeatedly cites resource limits. However, the studio did not limit roster size, did not limit licenses, and did not limit scope where it benefit marketing. This selective framing limits when it's convenient. Hardcore players calling for quality over quantity are implicitly told they do not understand business reality, even though their criticism is correct. This is a quiet, subliminal dismissal of their expertise. Damage systems and the false choice between chess match and slugfest. Ash complained. No, Ash claims players said the game felt less like a chess match. No, he said the game felt like a chess match. So the increased damage and finishes. No, it felt like a chess match, so they increased damage and finishes. Excuse my mistakes because I'm reading off my blog that I wrote, and I didn't study none of this. This is an oversimplified story. Early damage systems were shallow. Increase in finishes did not fix the underlying problem, but portraying feedback as con con dad gone contradictory or impossible to satisfy, he suggests knowledgeable fans are unreasonable, unreasonably demanding. This paints the post the most. I mean, this paints the most informed segments as the problem rather than shallow systems. Yeah, when I said a chess match is unfun and some of the fights are going too long, that's on the player. You didn't implement the right systems in the game. If a fighter feel if you was if there was a system that people felt vulnerable, there was a vulnerability system in it, and you could cut off the ring and do all the things you do in boxing, a lot of these fights will not go to the 12th round. And from my understanding, some people, because I haven't played a game and I don't know when, but a lot of people saying they took the 15 rounds. So they saying the fights are going to the 12th round. That's on the player. A person should not be forced to play the game a certain way. It's on the player to stop certain things. Ash got people repeating what he's saying. Will got people repeating what he wants. And some of these content creators are feeding into it. I'm not saying all of the content creators, but some of these content creators are feeding into what they're telling them. And a lot of them keep saying, well, I don't know about game development. I do. I know about game development. I ask enough questions over my lifetime. I have a history with boxing games. So a lot of people like coming at me like, you coming at the wrong person. Talk to the person that's making this game wrong and y'all co-signing for them. The chess match things is what the way they framing it is garbage. It's on their game design. Let me see. The absence of casual and hardcore modes and the misleading. This is hard for all sports games. Framing. Yeah, they try to use that excuse because my thing is I'm gonna read it again in my blog, but they keep saying this is their first game. Then they always use EA and all these other companies. Yes, that was their first games. I mean, when they made it. But Ash and Steel City, they don't have an excuse because they have those games to, to build off of. You know what Victorious Boxers did. You know what Prize Fighter did, what it did wrong and what it did right. You know what Fight Night and Knockout Kings did wrong and was right. You know what it's like over 100 or something games that came before Steel City Undisputed. ESBC, it's over 100 games that came before. So you can't say this is our first game. That's like me going to school and there were people behind me that learned stuff. My teacher learned stuff. So y'all, that's excuse does not hold weight. And people accepting it. They literally not questioning them. You know, I'm like some of the people that went to that event, you know, I'm like mad, like y'all was scared to question Ash. Like, nah, Ash, y'all should have been talking to him like grown men. Some of the people were acting like little kids, and they were like starstruck because they were there. Nah, man. For one, Ash, well, some of y'all did get free games, but Ash is not giving people free games. They're acting like people should not be questioned. You're not giving away the games for free. They got every right to question the game, even if they was getting it for free. You should be able to question things. That's how you make better games. Subliminal disrespect. How Ash frames hardcore fans, critics, and realistic advocates. Across interview, Ash used to set up subtle rhetoric habits. He described hardcore fans as a small minority. Wrong. That is wrong. Because when he frames it that way, with no data, they have no data. They're repeating what the industry want them to repeat with no data. Because if you really do your research, they're about tied. And what Ash is doing is adding the mobile fan base with the casual fan base. And whoever gave them them numbers or whatever, or hey, the casual fan base is big. No, it's not. Especially when it comes to sports games, no, it's not. Stop with the line. Give me some data. Fans got to ask for data. Give us data. He called criticism a loud segment instead of an informed one. He implied realism advocates want something that is not fun. That's crazy. Boxing, the sport, is fun. When people watched Devin Haney this weekend, it was fun. When they seen the boxing matches, they were fun. Even though Eddie Hearns and Conor Ben was trying to frame it as not fun, Devin Haney would be a fool to stand in front of him and slug with him. Devin Haney was not running. He stayed in the pocket and fought Brian Norman. He stood in the pocket. And then most of the clinching was Brian Norman. Devin was clinching back. So don't say, oh, Devin Haney was clinching too in the last part of the fight. And as a person know boxing, clinching is something like, and people get tired in the last part of the fight. Why would you, if you're tired and you and or a person throwing punches at you, you clinch him to make him reset? Y'all don't know boxing. I'm gonna become the Roger Mayweather of boxing video games. Me and Beast, we gonna become the Roger Mayweather of boxing video games. Y'all don't know boxing. Y'all selectively saying certain things and y'all letting people frame it. Showbiz the adult does it. I used to respect Showbiz the adult, but I know what his mindset gonna be. It's business. I gotta cater to the casual fan, but you don't have to lie to the casual fans. That's why I say if Showbiz the adult trains somebody and I train somebody, they will beat the brakes off whoever he trained. I can train people. I have trained people. So all that nonsense you're talking is garbage. You might be able to train somebody in bare knuckles boxing, which I kind of doubt that. And you might be able to train somebody in UFC. I highly doubt that. I could train somebody in UFC. They know you don't, bro, because you don't know about UFC. I did martial arts. Not did it as much because my brother, he was a martial arts teacher. He was training us because he boxed. He was a martial artist. He did kung fu, but he was a karate teacher, a martial arts teacher. So he stopped doing martial arts and stopped being a teacher. He did it when he was kind of young. He stopped doing it. Then he started boxing. And if anybody that's alive that knew my brother from Philly, because he used to train in Philly, he go all the way from New Jersey, from North to Philly to train. He trained at Joe Frazier Gym. Then he started training with George Benton. Joe Frazier and George Benton were friends. They separated because they have two different ideology of what boxing should be. But I don't want to go in deep into that. That's neither here or there right now. So let me get back to my blog. He says most players enjoy. Hold on. He said most players enjoy the game, implying critics are outliners. He's trying to say that we're just being loud just to be loud. He's trying to say that everybody's enjoying the game, even though the numbers are dropping. Everybody is enjoying the game. It's a lot of people. It's a lot of people that actually was defending this game that's going against this game, that's talking bad about this game. Behind the scenes, some of them, they're like content creators, but they don't want to miss out. I don't know if they're getting a check or whatever, but they don't want to say it out loud because they don't want to get that, them special incentives that they get. He positions expert requests as too difficult, too Dad, go on. What's going on with me today? Too specific and too niche. He often implies players do not understand the complexity behind this decision. That sounds like Will told you that. And this is something I got to say before I get into it. When Ash said that he talked to, he might have did, but it sounded like he's taking shots at me when he said, I talked to people from 2K and I talked to people from EA. What did y'all talk about? He didn't say nothing about what he talked about. I always say that. I never really say what we talked about. But I can tell y'all what we talked about. But I can't tell y'all who I talked to. I can tell you exactly what we talked about. But Ash is saying like he's saying little things. It's like he became that guy that we thought he'd never be. Well, I thought he'll never be. Let me see anybody coming to this stream. Salute, Leafy. They should have just made a Rocky Creed game. Nah, man. Nah, don't do that. Don't do that, man. Don't do that. You really think a Rocky Creed, unless you're being sarcastic, do you really think a Rocky Creed game will do great? Because when I looked up the numbers, the game did horrible. It didn't do that many numbers. Steel City still outsold the Rocky game with their deception. Not the game that we have now. That's not what sold the game. The ESBC version sold the game. Arcade games do not sell. The thing is, companies have to lump them in. Say we're gonna make a realistic game, then they make it a hybrid. That's how they sell. I don't think they will ever say, "Well, we're making a realistic Rocky and Creed game," and then they make it a hybrid. They can't do that because fans already see the Rocky franchise as is arcade. So it's going to only sell to the nostalgia people or certain people. Let me see. All right. This is how subliminal disrespect works. It's not overt name calling. It is framing. It is tone. It is the suggestion that you think you know boxing and game design, but you do not understand what is really possible. I know exactly what's really possible. I can give you a list of all the developers that you need. I can give you a list of all the technology that you need. which 9 out of 10 times you don't. So a lot of these people that you're putting in place, they're not getting all the stuff that you need. You don't have the developers. You really don't have the developers that you need. You got people that's on your team that's taking checks without making your game what it should be. Even in the Unity version of the game should be better. It should be 10 times better than what it is. And now, then you should transfer it over to Unreal Engine. But this game is not going to survive for 2 to 3 years while you're porting over to Unreal Engine. And within them 2 to 3 years that you're porting to Unreal Engine 6 will be out. Now you got to do something extra. What Ash says is not possible is absolutely possible. Every feature the hardcore community has asked for already exists in sports games, boxing games, fighter sims, and other development fundamentals. Realistic stamina is absolutely possible. Authentic scoring, absolutely possible. Deep AI tendency, absolutely possible. Distinct animations, absolutely possible. And let me stop right here. Distinct animations. That is what 2K does with over 500 players. They have distinct animations. I know a lot of y'all mad at 2K, but y'all gotta give them props for what they do right. Stop doing the microtransactions and all these little y'all. Now y'all nitpicking 2K, and I agree with y'all with the microtransactions and the and all of that, but stop nitpicking what they do right. Nitpicking what they don't do right, because they do a lot of things right. So what? Because y'all giving undisputed, y'all giving them excuses. Don't give them excuses. They're not gonna make a better game. But like, oh, because people would start attacking people that have an opinion. Oh, Poe, come on. They say they can't do it. Yes, they can do it. Hire the right developers. They hiring people like when I was helping Round for Round. When it came to us hiring people for the artwork, like the animators or the artwork people, they had to give us samples. It's like Steel City is just hiring people because they say they got a title. Like when they hire these people, that's the game testers. I'm not talking about the Q&A testers. They're not doing research on them. They just because they got a name. We've been testing all these fighting games. They've been testing fighting games. Did you ask them, were they boxing fans? Did you ask them what boxers do they know? Did you ask them what styles do you like in boxing? Did you ask them what trainers do you like? Did you ask them all these questions? You just hired people that were fight fans, that were fighting game fans. So their mentality and their feedback is going to be fighting game fans on feedback. And then they keep giving you games. When they give you the game from after they test, it's still broken. You should fire them guys. They can get mad at me all they want. You can't beat me. You could get the whole team, the whole Westcom team. They can't beat me. What, they gonna give me a loud talking? Poe, you can't say that. You don't know what you're talking about. You're not in the industry. I know the industry. And a lot of people can know the industry. Research. Leafy is a developer. He's a young developer. He know He implemented things that y'all taking forever to implement. Love C Shorty is a developer. He's implementing things in the game that you say is hard to do or you can't do. So y'all lying. You letting these people lie to you. You letting Will lie to you. Will should be saying stuff. If I was a part of the team, I will be calling these things out. They can get mad all they want. What are they going to do to me? Will should be calling these things out. He been in the industry just as long as I've been. Well, he was in the industry, actually in the industry, longer than I've been. My energy was like, I mean, me being in the industry was short lived. But shout out to Don D, because he's like, Poe, you're actually a game designer. What a couple of devs said, you are a game designer. All these ideas that you put together, game designers do. So you're a game designer. That is your title. Don't let nobody take that from you. I thought everything I do has to actually be hands-on, coding and stuff. No, that's a job, game designer. You design the game for the coders, for the animators and all those. He says, stop downsizing what you know and what you can do. Let me see. Oh, it filled up in here. You should make the next boxing. I wish I can, but with my game, if I could put a team together, that's one of my things. It was always one of my things. I could put teams together. Even when I was in school, I'm gonna give you a little this story time basically. When I was in school, and I didn't have a breaking team. We had a break. I made a breakdance team because I wanted to be in a talent show. So I said, "What you could do?" He said, "I could breakdance." I said, "What's your specialty in breakdancing?" So he said, "I could robot and I could pop lock." And then another guy said, "I could windmill, I could do everything." So I started choreographing everything in there on the fly. So I put a team together. When I was helping EA, when I was doing stuff with EA, I put a wish list team together. This one guy, he was Papinosis. He loved detail for the creative boxer mode. That was one of my things too. I love the creation mode. He was very detailed in his creation mode. So I brought him on. Then there was other people that were online. I brought them on. Then there were other people that had different things that they were specialized in. So I built a group of guys that were passionate. We was called the Wishlist Mafia. Steel City not Steel City, basically the same thing. But EA was scared of it. They're like, come on, why do you got a group called the Wishlist Mafia? It's like y'all trying to bully us. No, we ain't trying to bully y'all. When y'all hear the name Mafia, y'all automatically felt bullied. Then when y'all heard our ideas, I've been making ideas for decades. A lot of people think I just popped up out of nowhere. No, I've been making ideas for decades. Let me see what Leafy said. Will needs to be fired, in my opinion. I think so too. Or he should quit like he did when he did from what's that company he was working with, the I don't know why I keep forgetting that company. But he should be fired from the company he used to work for. I mean, he should be quit like he did the other company. Epic Games, thanks. I appreciate you. I see the passion. Just hope you get the shot from the big games. Yeah, and it's funny because on LinkedIn, I don't know if you've been listening to my last podcast. What's up, Box Eye View? Appreciate you coming on. I don't know if you listen to my last shows. I'm on LinkedIn. LinkedIn has a lot of developers. with different backgrounds and everything. And I write articles. I write articles and blogs. And I got over 500 developers, actual developers. They subscribe to my blogs. So that to me, that's good. That's a good thing that they subscribe to my blogs and my articles. And actually get some of them that says things and they say things to me. And some of my blogs, I be saying that they should start off. They should make a game without realistic boxes. You got to make your foundation first. This is something I learned early. A company, when they're trying to sell the game, you make the game with great graphics, right? Don't no real boxes. Don't add the real boxes first, because once you get the boxers, that's going to take your budget. That's going to take a lot of money from your budget, or that's going to give you an excuse to say the boxers taken from my budget. So you get the game down pat. You get all the systems in the game fixed, the mechanics and everything. You say, all right, this looks like Mike Tyson style. It looks exactly like Mike Tyson style. This looks like Floyd Mayweather style. Now you start adding the boxers in. All right, we got Mike Tyson style. It looks exactly like Mike Tyson style. He fights like Mike Tyson. He fights like Floyd Mayweather. He fights like Bernard Hopkins. He fight like all these people. Your mechanics in the game. My boxer, he could box. He got different jabs. He got different hooks. And this is something that people don't realize. There are different hooks. Like people be telling me, Poe, you throw your hook wrong. You telling me I throw my hook wrong and I boxed for over 12 years? I throw my hook wrong? You're listening to each trainer. They say different things. They live by different things. They will say, this is the proper way for a hook. This is the proper way for such and such. But certain trainers, they go off of what works for them. Now, when I'm supposed to be starting helping this gym, I'm supposed to be a trainer in this gym, but I'm going to do a gym tour and pick a gym. I went to this gym that around my way, and it got some good boxes in there. And one of the trainers, he used to train Brian Norman. Can't wait to see him, because he was saying Brian Norman's going to destroy Devin Haney. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. But what I'm trying to explain is, people say, "Oh, you're supposed to throw the hook like this," but I throw my hook like this all the time, and I get more power off. I get more power off it. I seen a lot of people throw, but my brother actually taught me to throw. I could throw it this way or this way. Depends on the punch. If I hit you to the body, even when I hit you to the body, I'm going to turn it. It's going to be a dig. It's going to be a slight hook, slight uppercut. I'm going to dig it. It's going to be like on an angle. Because I could be here all day explaining to you about boxing. It's crazy how we argue with people that don't really know boxing, but when you explain it, they try to argue with you. I know boxing. Even though I boxed for 12 years, I got over 25 to 30 years of boxing in me. So stop challenging what I say. When I'm going at Steel City, I'm going at them for the right things. Because Steel City is trying to make us seem like we dumb. We don't know what we're talking about. I know what I'm talking about. A lot of them developers know what they're talking about. When I talk to these developers on LinkedIn, they said Steel City's supposed to be the game of the year when they drop. They supposed to have all the accolades. But you know what Steel City got this year? The best big video game company. Hold up. They the best big video game company, but indie companies don't have big studios. Indie companies don't have 3 studios. So stop giving Steel City as much Y'all get it. Y'all say, nah, they're still an indie company. Stop. Do your research. All right, let me go back to finish my blog. All right. Where did I stop at? All right. Meaningful career modes. All right, give me a second. I got a call. Yes. All right. Give me a second. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Apologize about that. It's the holidays. All right, let me see what y'all saying in this chat. Y'all went silent. When I left, y'all went silent. Let me hold on. Mike Adams said, play 6 games of Undisputed tonight. Every single one of them, my opponent ran like beat 5 of them, but it's insane what the meta behavior is online. Yeah, but like I said, everybody got to get together. It's not the running part. It's about people got to start questioning things. They're not questioning. They're accepting the gameplay things that they put in. Why can't we run? Remember in the early development, um, I think even after no, it was in the betas. You could run towards your opponent. Now imagine if a person running from you, you could run and block them. I mean, run and cut off the path if they had that implemented. We don't even have a cutoff system. We don't have a way that you could cut off the ring. But if you could run, you can. Like with knowledge, you could cut the ring off. Because you know a lot of things that people saying. If that's why I be saying when people watch boxing, because somebody came to me, they start laughing. They said, "Poe, did you see how David Benavidez was spamming punches?" And that's crazy. Real life. And people saying, well, he doing it in real life. We shouldn't be able to spam it in a game. So you want an arcade game. The game should have an option for you to play arcade. But we don't, the majority of fans don't want that. And Steel City trying to push that. And I know that's Will. I know for a fact it's Will. Ash keeps saying, it sounds like a kid, you know, when you get a kid and you give him something to say to, like if the gas man or you got to pay a bill or something and you don't want him to tell the truth that you're there. You know, Ash is saying, yeah, you know, he was talking about the casual fans. He was talking for them, but then he said, I'm a hardcore fan. I want the game to be hardcore. If you want the game to be hardcore, let it be hardcore. It's Will and it's the publishers. I'm always getting at the publishers, and I'm like, they never delete me because they know I'm telling the truth. When I'm on LinkedIn and on Twitter, they never delete me. So if I'm telling a lie, I'm pretty sure they would definitely delete me. Or if I'm messing up, they feel I'm messing up their money and stuff, they'll delete me. I'm telling the truth. They're going by old standards. This is a conversation I have with people. I would love for the talk to a developer, but developers act like how doctors have the Hippocratic oath and how some police officers they don't tell on the each other. They don't want to talk bad about others because they think that if they lose their job, they probably want to go to that company, and that company is. Give me a second. No. Like no matter how many times you tell them not to get on the trigger, so they don't get them. I don't know. I'm back. I don't know where I was at, but let me finish off where I was. I think I was at. I'm talking about in the conversation. I don't know where I was at with the conversation. All right, let me see. Okay. Um, Meaningful career modes are absolutely they absolutely do it. They can is absolutely possible. Damaging models absolutely possible. Casual and hardcore modes is absolutely possible. I don't know why they're struggling with stuff. Like I said earlier, games in the past had these things in it. So for you to say we're struggling to do it, we're a new team. That's stop with that. You had people in the past doing it, and they had no problem, especially different modes. We talking about modes here. What's called career mode, victorious boxer career mode, is more in depth than what Still Cities is. What's undisputed is. Let me see. Defensive systems. That's what I was talking about. There's so much to defensive because to them, we don't gotta get deep into the defensive. Yes, you do. It's boxing. If you're making a boxing game, you gotta get deep into it. You gotta internalize it. You gotta do your research. That's one thing about Brizzle. Even though EA didn't let him do everything that he wanted to do, he got deep into it. We were we were deep, like going back and forth almost. I said, Brizzle, did you look at this video? He said, yeah, I watched that video. I said, Brizzle, did you look at this one? I was like doing my research. Brizzle said, yeah, I did that one. I remember that one because it was a video showing the punching power, the movement and stuff. And like I said, I think I was one of the first persons to do motion capture because, excuse me, in New Jersey, when I ripped my shoulder in a boxing match, um, I had to go to a sports clinic, and they had technology there for motion caption. So with the motion caption, they actually see how much extension I had on my arm, how much power in my punches, and everything. So all that stuff that Steel City saying they can't do, they can do. They just don't have the right person there telling them the technology and the people they need. And you know what's the funniest thing? I had somebody from Steel City like my one of my posts on LinkedIn that said that no, they didn't like it because LinkedIn, it shows who looked at your post. And I know Still City was I think one or two people looked at that post. So they saw it, they know what is missing from their team. And they keep hiring the wrong people. Okay, movement restrictions. It's possible. Not the movement restrictions that casual fans are asking for. Because they want everything to be dumbed down. They want, when I hear people complain about certain things, they want this game to be a fighting game. They want it to be an arcade game. They want it to be UFC. It's not a UFC game. I know UFC 5 does a lot of things better than Steel City. There's one thing I'm always say, and I got to tell the truth. EA has a bigger team, even though that's still no excuse. It's no excuse. EA does have a big. I gotta always mention that they have a bigger team, but you got guys like Love C Shorty and Leafy doing things that Steel City is saying can't be done. Okay, punch tracking that can be done. We saw that they was tuning the punch tracking in the earlier development. We saw that they could make the punches better. But you know what's bad about it? When they pushed the boxers out the studio. I know Jay Sheb and I know I keep forgetting his name, Sebi. They got boxing backgrounds. But are they really talking? Are they really having an impact on development of what's right for the game? Because my thing is, if I was there when they said you gotta remember, pro, this is a game. We can't have all that realistic. Come on, man, stop. I wouldn't even. They would have probably fired me the next day or within a week because if you look at 2K, it tries to emulate basketball. If you look at baseball, it tries to emulate baseball. So stop with the nonsense. And they saying it's not selling. It's not going to sell. Where are y'all getting this data from? I'm gonna keep saying that. Show me the data. Don't you ain't even gotta only show it to me. Show the community the data. Not what you feel or what you think. Not what you think 15 years ago, 10 years ago. Robust net code. It's possible. They can do it. It can be done. None of this is impossible. None of this is unrealistic. None of this is unreasonable. The problem is not technology. It is not player expectations. It's not realism being unfun. That's Ash's word. Ash said it's unfun. You will say it's unfun. I'm like shocked at Ash. Stop saying that. Ash needs to stop saying he want a hardcore game. He loved boxing, but you got to make the game fun. We don't want it to be unfun. Come on, man. Stop. When you say it like that, that means you have no intentions to have different modes. You don't intend to have a hardcore mode, a casual mode, a hardcore mode, a hybrid mode, and a casual mode. It's like you're not looking to add those things. And then when you if I'm in the studio, I'm guessing somebody telling Ash, that's a waste of time, Ash. If you add a hardcore mode and a hybrid and a casual mode, that's gonna take too much time. They taking time doing nothing. Right now, they're taking time doing nothing. They're taking time going on all these vacations that the company give them. They're taking time doing nothing at all. Ash need to have the motion capture studio that's in Vegas, which they have different setups for people. Because I guess in the UK, you can have all them vacations like that on the job. It's kind of a standard, I think. I'm not sure, but in Las Vegas, they should have like the standards. Because I remember when Brizzle was working in that Chicago. Was it Chicago they was in? Yeah, I think it was Chicago. And I was talking to Brizzle. He used to be staying at night. Even when they went to Canada, he used to be working day and night. Give me a second. Dad is busy today. Yes. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I apologize about that. That was my sister. Um, the problem is design philosophy. The problem is architecture. The problem is priorities. And the problem is a pattern of answers that treat the most informed, passionate, long term fans as if they are naive. They always do that. They always try to make people like me, even though the beast delivery, his delivery is what keeps him, Still City use it because they're like, look at him, he's angry, he's he's they just look at him as an angry guy. They look at me as, well, Poe, he seems like he can be angry and stuff like that. But they're like, oh, he's just an old angry guy. I'm not an old angry guy. I've been around from the day one gaming. And it's crazy. A lot of these content creators and gamers, they act like I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm a gamer. Poe, you don't know what you're talking about. Steel City says, come on, man. When you talk to somebody from a business, they're gonna talk to you like it's business. And some of them not gonna be truthful. And their thing is, and I saw it, I knew it. And anybody that know me, Will did exactly what I said he was gonna do. When the content creators go to their content creation thing, he was gonna pull them all together, and he was gonna, so-called wine and dine them, and talk to them, and try to baby them up, and say, he tried to give them what he wants them to say. He tried to coach them into saying what he wants them to say. Will is not a developer. Will is not a developer. Will Rackzilla Kinsler is not a developer. Even though Ash appointed him as a developer, he's not a developer. That's not Will. That's not his what he's good at. That's not what he's known for. Will was always a community guy. I'm a community guy. A lot of y'all can see that. I was never really a talker. I just became a talker. And salute to my wife. She made me a talker. Because I had to conversate with my wife. I was never really a talker. Even when I was boxing and everything, they know me as the silent guy. They see me as not a threat. They said, you didn't seem like a threat outside the ring, but when you got in the ring, you was a threat. I was always a silent guy. Always sometimes I let things slide. All right, that's the end of my blog. Let me see what y'all talking about in the chat. What's up, Boxing Lounge? Mike Adams said they definitely made cutting the ring off tough on Undisputed. Yeah, it's non-existent. Moving backwards on the game is quicker than forward. That's crazy. It really is. But the thing that I keep telling people, a lot of people saying moving backwards shouldn't be that fast. No, don't say moving backwards is not fast, because what you got to look at people like Devin Haney or Floyd Mayweather and stuff. When they retreat or do backwards movement, it's kind of fast. Even if you're hurt, when a lot of people say when you're hurt and stunned, you don't move backwards that quick. They should slow it down. That's a lie. You know, when people start stumbling and stuff, when they're moving forward after they get stunned, they're trying to clinch or they're doing stuff. Some people, when they get stunned, they move backwards fast. They try to lean on the ropes. That's a fast movement, because when you're going backwards and somebody push you, you're going backwards fast. It's just people complain about things that they feel that's keeping them from getting the knockout. They want this game to be a knockout game. They want it to be a knockout simulator. They don't want the tools in boxing the things in boxing that you could do that can get that knockout. I want to jab a person like 2 or 3 times, and then he's so amazed by me hitting him 2 or 3 times with the jab, then boom, hit him with the right hand. I might hit him with a jab and throw a hook, and he's shocked that he got hit with the hook. Boom, hit him with the right hand. Or I might fake the jab and boom, hit him with the that's boxing. But a lot of y'all mentality is sounding like it sounds like a fighting game. Like y'all want a fighting game. And I'm okay with y'all wanting y'all fighting game. But that should be a casual option. That should be an option for casual fans. Let the hardcore fans have the game. It's so many boxers they're disappointed with this game. And Steel City can't tell me they can't tell me boxers not disappointed with this game. Nobody can tell me that boxers love this game. They can't. The only reason they would love this game is because they're getting a check from this game. Other than that, they don't care because the game doesn't replicate the sports authentically and realistically. I'm putting both of the words together because authentically, they can say, well, they have gloves. Authentically, they have boxing trunks. Authentically, they have boxing boots. They use that authenticity as an excuse to say certain things. That's a trigger word. That's a word, a slick word they add in, but authentic and realistic. We want the game, both of those. We want the game to replicate boxing. And people keep saying, well, we don't want the game to go to 12 rounds. That's on you. I was saying that earlier. That's on you. You might have a 12-round fight that's a great fight. You don't hit him and he's stunned and he survived some type of way, and he hit you and you got stunned and you went to full 12 rounds. Then you be like, wow, that was a great fight. But if you go all these rounds in the game that they have now and you don't feel satisfied, that's still City fault. Because they didn't implement the right things in the game. Y'all keep giving them a pass. Stop giving them a pass. Let me see. Kane, he said, I don't know. I'm going to call you Kane. He said, how come the ropes are not involved in the game? Exactly. And I think the ropes is actually involved in the earlier gameplay. You were able to lean on the ropes. I forget because I didn't play the game so long. So I can't really say certain things. Yeah, let me see. Leafy said, going to head out to the basketball games I mentioned in DMs. I have a good have a good evening. I'll probably message you later though. Oh, all right, salute, Leafy. AJ Pack, salute, man. I'm glad you popped in. Authenticity in the undisputed metaverse only means character likeness. Exactly. That's exactly what it means. That's exactly what it means. It's not gameplay. They used to I'm in the Discord, they're trying to correct me. Poe, you keep saying you want a realistic sim boxing game. Yeah, I want a realistic sim boxing game because when I say realistic sim, it's simulating what boxing is. Realistic to what boxing is. But when they say authenticity, they add in little bits of boxing. It looks good enough to say it's boxing. That's their definition of it. And it's crazy. Steel City, they like, we gotta, like these last couple of months, we gotta push hard on Steel City. We gotta stop being scared. A lot of people scared to say anything to Steel City. You could talk about Steel. If you're scared you're gonna get kicked out the Discord, go to Twitter. Go to all these different social medias and complain, tag them, complain to them. But y'all keep agreeing with them. The more you agree with Steel City, the more they're gonna keep doing the same thing. The more you don't say anything. I heard people in the beginning were saying, Let them just make the game. Be quiet. Let them just make the game. No, that's you because you don't know boxing. That just made me, it got me here. They said, let them make the game that they're going to make. They got a lot of casual developers on the team. Some of them not even boxing fans. When Ash Habib said and this is what he said, it's a quote. He said, "A boxing game made by boxing fans for boxing fans." That was a lie. Made by casual boxing fans, and they probably was barely casual boxing fans. A lot of them probably start watching boxing right when they got hired. The game was in a good place when we had Josh Teller and Josh Teller and Ben Davis in the studio. When we had Dad, how I forget his name? I keep forgetting his name. Sonny Edwards in the studio. It's like they pushed all these people out. Let them just make the game. Is code talk for DLC? It is. It is. It is. It's like people, they like, we were talking about this yesterday. It's like people become collectors. They are okay with collecting boxer names. I say names because a lot of these boxers don't fight like themselves. And even some of these boxers that do fight like themselves, it's a little bit of what the boxer does. It's just enough for them to be recognized. But other than that, the boxer is not himself. Emmanuel Gus is the only reason why people, I say this a lot. The only reason why people gravitate to Emmanuel Gus is because he has a unique fighting style. And a lot of people like that it looks similar to MMA, UFC. That's what a lot of people liked him. But that wore off real fast. And it's just crazy that people not like really using their voices. Because when you get a lot of these so-called casual fans, no, I call them casual fans, not so-called, but a lot of these so-called boxing fans, they always try to speak the loudest. Always. And I'm really trying to figure out where is the data that Steel City keep trying to feed us? Where's the data? Where's the data you keep saying that casual fans are the main people that plays video games? And as a whole, yes, they are the biggest fan base. Like for games like Final Fantasy and what other games? The Sims. Games like that. They lump all of that together. The Sims has a massive fan base. So when you start putting those numbers together, that boosts everything up. But we're talking about sports games. When you look at the hardcore and the casual fans, the hardcore fan it goes up higher. The fans that play sports games is higher. You see guys like Shaq and Shaq he's not playing no more. But you see basketball players, they're playing basketball games on their downtime. You don't see boxers playing undisputed on their downtime because the game is not good. The game is not good. And it's like another thing, me and AJ Pax is talking about. Marketing seems like it's more important than anything. Mechanics and all that, it's not important to Steel City no more. It's like they marketing. Everything is about marketing. Let's grab this company. Let's grab that company. My thing is, when I was helping Round for, give me a second, Dad, go on. Holidays. Yes. All right, be right out. Give me a second. I'll be right back. I'm back. Dad, everybody's doing stepped up. I'm glad y'all came in and just gave me a shout out. That's just as good. It says 7 people here. Why y'all not talking? Say 7 people here. Um, I should have sent out a what's called for LinkedIn because they watch a lot of my videos too. That's what I be saying when people be saying certain things. When they be saying when I tell them that I talk to developers, they really don't grasp that I'm talking to developers. I'm not one. I don't need to act like I know somebody. I'm a grown man. I don't need to act like it. I can just be quiet and say other things. I think I have other content that's more, that I could talk about. Let me see. Oh, I was reading what Jay was saying. Yeah, I know people want Devin Haney in the game more than they ever wanted him in the game. But this is the thing. See, people, I'm a, hold on, let me see. Marketing is how you dress a pig with lipstick, and that's what undisputed it really is. That goes back to what I was saying about they keep putting paint on a used car, on a broken down used car with one tire and broken windows. They're just putting paint on it. No engine in the trunk. Literally no engine in the trunk. And a lot of bugs in I mean no engine in the front of the car, but they got a lot of bugs in the trunk. Yeah, people keep asking this my thing. And this what I gotta say it. I said it before, but I gotta say this. Stop asking for more DLC. Y'all falling in love with names. They could put a name on Winnie the Pooh and say that is Andy Ruiz or Mike Tyson, and y'all will still buy the game. I mean, buy the DLC. Oh, this is our version of Mike Tyson. Oh, look, Winnie the Pooh. Y'all, I'm like, come on, y'all. Y'all got to do better as fans or so-called fans. Stop accepting the DLC. Y'all got to put pressure on them. That's the thing. People don't put pressure on companies in general. You put pressure on them, like with a good example. And everybody got their own story about Fight Night Champion. I was in the middle of that whole discussion. Development team, and as a fan of the series, hoping it get better. Fight Night Champion did not sell well. So keep saying that the game is the best boxing game out. No, it's not. It didn't even sell well. I know a lot of y'all can say, well, your opinion doesn't make sense because what's called sold well, and it's not a good game. But logically speaking, it is a great, I mean, Undisputed sold because of ESBC. That was a marketing tool. You know how we keep talking about marketing? They use the ESBC version as a marketing tool. I was starting to believe it wasn't actually a game. And come to find out, it was actual gameplay. Will even said it. Will literally said it. And I copied it. See, that's why when I copy certain things, because I know people try to downplay it or try to erase it. Will said that, yeah, that version of the game was after me. I didn't know what it was. You know what it was because you changed it. And y'all giving them a pass. You can't get mad at people like the Beast. You can't. You can't get mad at me for when I say certain things. I just don't say it the way the Beast said, but you can't get mad at me. I know what I'm talking about. And my thing is, y'all got to start doing research. The research is out there. The answers are out there. Anything you want can be put in a boxing game. Anything. Then y'all gonna come up with another excuse. But does it make sense for a game? It's not gonna be fun. You sure about that? When you say it's not gonna be fun, that means you haven't never watched a boxing game. I mean, a boxing match. I watched thousands of boxing matches. Thousands, literally. I watched Shannon Briggs fight live in the amateurs. I watched me and Shannon came up in the amateurs. I watched him fight. I went to when Holyfield had a fight. I think his first fight. I watched a Toro Gotti first boxing match live. A lot of these fights I'm talking about, I watched them live. So when y'all try to come at me, it's crazy. Y'all keep saying y'all be talking like I'm an old delusional has been boxer. I don't regret my career that did have when I boxed. I had an amateur background. If I wasn't blind in one eye because of the medical field, if I wasn't blind in one eye and My hand wasn't messed up. The doctors messed up my hand because I punched the metal beam. I punched the wall out of anger, and it's a metal beam behind it. And my hand, I like crushed my hand. So now I can't make a proper fist. But if all of those things was good, I'd have been calling out Jake Paul. It's people give Jake Paul too much credit. And Jake Paul is good at marketing himself. He's good at saying certain things that he know will catch people attention. If Anthony Joshua not getting a big check, no matter, I don't care who knocked him out the last fight or whatever, can Jake Paul beat Daniel Dubois? Not at all. Can Jake Paul beat anybody that stopped Andy Ruiz? Andy Ruiz will stop Jake Paul in one round. One round. Daniel Dubois, one round. And y'all gonna say, well, he fought Mike Tyson, and Mike Tyson didn't stop him in one round. Come on now, stop with the nonsense. That's casual talking. That's Batman and Robin comparing stuff. Comparing Batman to whoever. My mom went blank in the comics era. Yeah, hit the like. Whoever here hit the like. It's 9 people here. Hit the like. Um, yeah, it's crazy. We gotta speak up. We have to speak up. Developers watch my videos. They really do. And they're still on the fence. They on the fence like we want to make a boxing game, but we're scared to make a boxing game. And I made a couple of articles that say, make the boxing game. Speak to the fan base. Speak to people on Twitter. Speak to people on Reddit. Make a survey. Make a poll. Ask these people what they want in a boxing game. Would they support a realistic boxing game? I know there's going to people that's going to say they want an arcade game, they want a hybrid game, because in their mind they already are told that realism is boring, which is not. It's up to you. How many times you say, if that boxer was running from me, I will cut off the ring or do this. But then you're getting mad when a person is not thinking how you're thinking in a boxing ring. A lot of times, a lot of people, you don't know how hard that person that hit him and then he's moving away, how hard he punches. And he feel like as he chased that person down, that guy might counter him. Because you can counter a person when they're running in. Because you can fake like I can fake like I'm a running and boom, catch you out there. It's so much that I know about boxing. It's so much that I forgot that a lot of people don't know. Like with what's called me having a conversation with what's his name? Showbiz the adult right now. It makes no sense because he been infected with that casual mentality. And it's kind of like he's not really a boxing fan. It's like he's an opportunist right now. He's like trying to grab every opportunity that he can get. I know there's a lot of people gonna try to defend Showbiz the adult, but Showbiz the adult cannot box. I'm gonna get my son to take me hitting a punching bag. I haven't hit a punching bag in 30 years, give or take, give or take. But I haven't hit a punching bag about almost 30 years. But I will look 10 times better than what Showbiz is. People be championing this guy. He got to do everything possible to make it look like he knows what. Showbiz is a black Todd Grisham. Todd Grisham is not really a boxing fan. You can listen to what he's saying. He's sensationalizing certain things. He just knows how to talk. He just knows how to talk. That's what makes Todd Grisham a good addition to Still City, to a company. He just know how to talk. He don't know about boxing. He says certain things that doesn't fit boxing. It fits MMA. I seen him argue with Sergio Mora in another box. I'm like, yo, what? I would have told Todd Grisham, like, yo, man, you got to be quiet, man, because you really don't know what you're talking about. Todd Grisham was like, Sergio Mora was like saying, he said, because he was, I think, Todd Grisham was asking him something, and he said, I'm gonna be quiet. And I know what Sergio Mora was meaning. Why should I argue with you when you keep saying casual, heavy stuff? You don't know boxing. You really don't know boxing. Todd just and anybody could debate or whatever, say what they say about me. But Todd Grisham don't know boxing. He just know he's a good speaker. Todd Grisham is what we say. He's the type of person that could sell a snow cone to an Eskimo. Let that sink in. I know a lot of people are like, well, what you mean sell a snow cone to Eskimo? They're in snow. It's a lot of snow around them. Why are you buying a snow cone from somebody? Todd Grisham, he's just a good talker. You know, no shade at Todd. Because Todd could have deleted me quite a few times. He's still my friend on Twitter and stuff, and I'm shocked. He's still my friend on Instagram. Yeah, they think Showbiz is more of a Max Sellerman. See, Showbiz, he's a good businessman. That's why Turkey Alley Sheik pulled him in. And he got his own little segment that he got with DAZN. It's called Two Sugars something, Coffee and Two Sugars. And he got props. He got props. They both holding a coffee cup. That's I'm like that right there shows his mindset about certain stuff. Because I would have made it like me. I have an art background. I know a lot of people can say, hey, everything you do is AI, even your artwork. Not really. Sometimes I do AI and I do adjustments to it, hands-on adjustments to it. I know I'm an artist. I went to art school. I went to the same school, even though he came years after me, probably decades after me. The same school that I forget his name, that played Creed. I don't know why I keep forgetting his name, but I went to the same art school, Art Side in Newark, New Jersey, that a lot of these talented people went to. I'm an artist. I can write and everything. A lot of people be trying to downplay me. I was so surprised when I saw that. Oh yeah. I'm like, Showbiz, he's a great businessman. He gave up his job for this. He was banking on this job to help him. And I think I would have been a more informed Showbiz right now if I would have took the opportunity when fans kept pushing me. They said, Poe, you should do YouTube. You should do YouTube. And my thing was I wasn't a talker, so I was like, man, it's gonna be a waste of my time. I did when I was doing even not when I was doing my podcast back in the days, I was better when I had people talking with me, when I had a partner talking with me. To me, a show is better if you're not a talker when you have other people on it. Even with the podcast that we have for Talk Shoe, like I was saying, Talk Shoe is better for the fan base because you can pop up on Talk Shoe and you can actually verbalize or express yourself to the developers or anybody, and they'll say, "Oh, that's what he meant." Because when you type in text and stuff, it get buried, and people don't understand what you're saying. But when you're on our podcast and stuff, you actually making developers know exactly what you're saying. And what I keep telling y'all, developers watch the show. They listen to the show. Developers, not a developer. Developers. They listen to it. A lot of them, a lot of them even told me, they said, I watch your shows. And I'm still trying to figure out what happened to the developer from EA that he asked me to be on the show. He wanted to be on the show. And he didn't show up. Because he contacted me like 2 or 3 times. And he was like, he said they going through something to see, making up like certain things he could answer and can't answer and stuff. And I'm guessing that EA, some of the people that's there that's veterans, and they saw who I am, and they're like, nah, man, don't do the show with Poe. You might could do it. They should have let somebody say, all right, he should have said, all right, Poe, I'll do the show, but you gotta let somebody else ask me the questions. Because the way I do things, I'm telling on myself, but I don't care. I make you comfortable. I ask you certain questions, then you start telling me stuff. That's how Ash was doing. Me and Ash was talking. I was like talking to Ash like all the time. And Ash started getting real comfortable. He started telling me things. And I'm saying, wow, Ash. I say, Ash, you telling me too much. You really telling me too much. I said, I don't have an NDA. A lot of people are like, man, you shouldn't have said nothing. No. I didn't want to mess up our friendship because I knew what was coming. Once he got somebody in place, they were going to tell him. They're going to be like, you telling him too much, and he's going to go back and run his mouth, which is not, it's not actually the truth. Everything that somebody tells me, I don't go back and tell everybody. I tell them I talked to him. I say, hey, I talked to Ash Abib and we had a good conversation, but I will not go into detail what we talked about. When I talk to developers on LinkedIn, I tell you I talk to developers on LinkedIn, but I'm not going into details of what we talked about because that messes up my line to talk to them. My thing is I'm trying to open as many doors as possible. And a shout out to Don D again, because Don D, he keep pushing for somebody to pull me on board. And my thing is, I don't really care to be on a team. I'm okay with just giving feedback and my opinions and my wishes and ideas and stuff like that. Take them. That's what I am. Let me give feedback and stuff. That's what Ash was doing in the beginning. He was asking for my feedback about things. When he put what's his name, Mickey Ward in the game, he asked me my feedback about the model. And he was like, well, Poe, everything is not in concrete. Things gonna change. He said, I'm taking your opinion and consideration, and everything's not gonna stay the same. That's how we was talking. And that's why I keep saying we gotta speak. We gotta speak. Even the content creators, y'all gotta speak. A lot of y'all mentality is the very simple things that y'all like about the game. And y'all push for that. And I game you watch, Come on, bro. Why you I mean, why you didn't it's like you really like, and I don't want to say the word, but it seemed fitting. It's like I'm arrogant about certain things. I respect you. I like watch all your videos. Literally watch all your videos. I watch you out of respect. I like what you're doing. But I asked everybody. I said everybody that's going to the event, because you could have responded back, said, "No, I'm not gonna ask them. Maybe I'll ask them or something like that." You didn't say anything. You just ignored my post. You can see on certain apps that you see that the person saw your post. You saw my post and ignored it. I'm not trying to gain nothing. People keep thinking that I do videos and stuff for money and stuff like that. No, I don't do it for money. I don't, even when a company, like even when I was with Round for Round and stuff, he said, "Poe, how much you want to get paid? Do you want to get paid?" I said, "I don't want anything. I'm just happy to be on the team." When I was with EA, I didn't want certain things. They gave me certain things. I never asked when Ash contacted me that time. He said, "Poe, I'm gonna put you in the game as a boxer." And I was like, "All right." He said, "No, because you've been doing this for a long time." So by him knowing that, that means he did his research on me and know that I was always passionate about a boxing game. And he was like, he was gonna put me in a game. But because I'm talking so much about the game, what's wrong, and other people in his ear, I'm no longer gonna be in the game. I don't care. Oh, well, see me, things like that doesn't steer me to follow what they want me to say or what they want me to do. Other people, content creators and stuff, they will do it. They will do it, not me. I don't do things for likes and clicks and all that stuff. I don't, my thing is my passion. Everything I do is based on passion. Now, if I get a 500 followers or 1,000 followers, maybe I might ask YouTube to monetize me. But other than that, no. I don't care about all that money and stuff. I'm not going to act the way that Still City want me to act. I want everything I do to feel authentic, realistic. And to whoever listened to this, and it's gonna be kind of scary for me. I hate when I use that word scary because I'm not scary at all. But it's gonna be, I gotta, I'm gonna do a whole month, literally over a month. I think it's gonna kick off Sunday. It's gonna kick off Sunday because we do our shows on Sunday. So I think it's gonna kick off Sunday, and we're gonna have a whole, we're gonna have a whole December, December and 2 days in January, because my birthday is on the third. So the third, you know, will be, I think that would be my last like for the full month. Cause I'm gonna do it every day. I'm trying to decide what time is the best time. Cause I might actually do 2 shows a day for some people because I'm trying to catch different time zone. Might be, but I just don't want everything I say to be on repeat. You know, a lot of y'all probably be saying, "Damn, didn't Poe say that like 2 episodes ago, or didn't he say that last episode?" Yeah, but the game makes me so mad that sometimes it make me repeat things. That's why I rather have a host so we could like keep bumping off conversations and ideas and stuff. That's why I like the setup of talk show. I used to love talk show back in the days because we used to have special guests and stuff. I had interviews with what's his name? Jeff Mayweather. I had interviews with Brizzle. Um, I had an interview with three of the developers, and I had an interview with who else? I had an interview with Eddie Chambers, the boxer Eddie Chambers. I had an interview with him, and we was building up, but what happened was it was me and my scheduling. It's like we like fell off. I think we would have been like really up there. We would have like we would have been the original OGs of the boxing video game space. And we was throwing a little bit of boxing in there. Me, like if you ask me about certain fights, see that's one thing I respect Showbiz about. He knows his facts, even though I could study it before I do the show. But he knows certain things. I just hate that he dumbed down certain things. Because if you listen to the excitement that Showbiz get from the bare knuckle boxing and the excitement he get for UFC and the excitement he get for boxing, it's totally different. Showbiz is more of a a bare knuckles boxing fan and an MMA fan. That's why a lot of things he say is what he's trying to implement into what boxing is. Stop trying to change boxing. Some things need to be changed, but the way that he's changed is like extreme changes. No, stop. And to the people that's talking about the Muhammad Ali Act, talking about, yeah, it's okay if they change it. Yeah, you saying that because that's not your money. Boxers should be knowing what the managers and promoters is getting. It's a good thing. When I was boxing, that's one of the reasons why I stopped boxing. Is because my manager was giving me less than what I was worth. I was a decorated amateur. 3-time Golden Gloves champion. 3-time state champion. 3-time Diamond Glove champion. And I went to the Nationals. And it was crazy. So when I got my manager, he was trying to get me the hard fights and was trying to get his star athlete, what he felt was his star athlete. He had another heavyweight, which was, I think it was kind of stupid for me to go there because technically the heavyweight that he had, I fought him in the amateurs. And what happened was my shoulder popped out the socket, like I think 2 or 3 times, and I was still trying to fight. And he won because the referee said, no, your shoulder is messed up and you can't fight no more. And my thing was I was basically going to die on my shield. But it was stupid of me because the more I kept popping my shoulder in and out the socket, I was rubbing the bone. So now they had to I had to do surgery on my shoulder. But that's neither here or there. So it's about to be the 2-hour mark. So I'm gonna say shout out to everybody that came to the show. Shout out to whoever gonna watch this video later. Please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. And my thing, enjoy your holiday. I don't celebrate Thanksgiving, but enjoy your holiday and stay safe. And I see y'all. I might do another show, but our main show is Sunday. Then after that, it's going to be a full month. But our main show is Sunday at 3 p.m. I salute to all of y'all that showed up, to the people that's not saying anything and everything. But it's I respect y'all and thank y'all for coming through and supporting me. I see my numbers are rising. I really respect for y'all. Respect that y'all coming through and supporting me. I wasn't gonna do a show. I actually was trying to do a live stream on Twitch, but it didn't go. I don't know what's going on. I gotta ask my friend Don D 205, what's going on, because I wanted to do a Twitch. Because I'm trying to mess with all the social media platforms. That helps build up my fan base. I might I'm gonna do Facebook too. I'm gonna see how many people can I get on Facebook. But yeah, I'm trying to hit every social media so I can build a fan base up. There's people interested in me. So shout out to everybody. I'm gonna give a quick shout out. And I hate that I forget your name. But to the fight, Boxing Lounge, Leafy Pound for Pound Boxing, AJ Pax, Kenny Say. Shout out to all of y'all for coming through and just giving respect. Oh, and S.V. He hot. Shout out to you. Shout out to let me see. I gotta give a shout out to how I forget his name. Um Give me a second. I can't leave him out. Give me a second. Shout out to JMMA, but that's not what I'm talking about. Shout out to A Smooth. Shout out to Paroxys, Fight Night Finest. Oh, Remy. Shout out to Remy. And I don't know what happened to my boy. Hold on. What happened to my boy Jay Jeezer and Flossie Sports and Ed We Trust? I don't know what happened to y'all, but shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to Addict 85. Shout out to the woke sports fan. What happened to you, man? You guys been silent. Shout out to Marvelous. Shout out to King Diaz. Shout out to, I'm always call you country boy, but Aloha Bama. Shout out to Beast. Shout out. Shout out to you, man. Let me see. Shout out to Jay Shep. And you explained yourself to why you did some of the things you did. But I gotta respect it. Just shout out to all of y'all for coming through. And listen to my video in the beginning, whoever just came in. And I was going off of what the Ash was saying at the content creator. I know some of the things I missed that I really wanted to address. But I could probably put that in the show that's coming up that we're about to do. That we're going to do. But it's crazy. Yes, it's like crazy that Ash saying the things that he's saying, and then he's saying, I'm a hardcore fan myself. So let the game be hardcore. At least options. Options. I'm gonna keep drilling that. Options. Y'all gotta beg for them. Options. If you don't like something, options. That's what you should be saying all the time. When somebody says something, say options. That's what it should be. That should cut off everything else. When they say, "Oh, we can't put this in the game because we don't want to isolate certain people," but you're isolating the hardcore fans. When they say we don't want to isolate the casual fan, say options. That's all you got to say. Options. Salute. Thanks for coming through.